Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Myra Tatum Salcido with the University of Texas Permian Basin. And if you have accessed this video, most likely you are in my English 1301, Section 701 online course. I go by Dr. Salcido or Professor Salcido, whichever you prefer. And if you're watching this and yay, you already got into your university email, and it's very important to check university email because you will get things ahead of time like this before the class starts January 10th officially. It starts at 1 minute after midnight on January 10th. So, yeah, that would be Sunday night, a minute later. So, for this online course, if you have access to this email, that's great. For the rest of the course, I would rather everybody contact me through Canvas email, and that's the way I will reach the class and the way you could reach other students in the class, which will become necessary when we have group projects. We only have one, but uh, you need to know everybody in the class and be able to access their email. And it's only within the course, it doesn't go outside of the course. So your privacy is protected. So, for this course, English 1301, you will have 4 major papers, and they will amount altogether at 20 pages of typed academic writing. So, no, you are not writing one 20-page paper. You are writing 4 different papers that will add up to 20 pages. So, I sent out the syllabus on how to access Top Hat, your Composition Handbook. And it may seem daunting, like, oh, this is overwhelming amount of information, but do not worry. I will be in this course not quite every day, but at least 3 times a week. I extended due dates and revisions way too much last semester, and I know it's a pandemic, folks, but uh, we have to keep up. This is a 17-week semester. 1 week does not count. That is spring break, March 6th through 12th. So it's just kind of a week that is in the schedule. And so the actual course has 16 weeks plus spring break makes 17 weeks. Okay, one of the first things you need to do as an online student will be to authenticate uh, who you are taking the course. This is required by law, state law. So there will be an assignment where you are to produce a photo. I only need one photo, a photo of your face in the camera and you holding up an ID card close to the camera. Well, that's not close enough. Okay, there you go. And taking a photo, holding this by my face is what I need to see. Okay, that was my UTPB identification. You can use a license as long as I could read some information on the license. You can block some things out, like your address if you want. I need to see your driver's license number, date of birth, and that is not expired. That is what is important. Some students like to take a marker and um, crossing things out after they have the photo, and that's fine, but don't cross out your name, your ID, driver's license number, or date of birth and expiration date. That's what I need. The rest of it, your address, how tall you are, never mind. So if you're real persnickety about that, you can do that, but nobody will see the identification except for me, unless some crazy thing happened and the state needed to see your ID, but it has never happened in all my many years of teaching online since this requirement is there. If you do not send in your ID photo, you will not get a grade on your transcript. So this is really an important thing. It's easy to do. If it's easier for you to do a video, say hello, your name, and then hold that up, videos are accepted. But you really only need one photo if you can get both in the photo. I really don't like to see two different photos. One which would be your face, and another which would be a driver's license. So you really need to be in one photo or one video. A JPEG and PNG photos are accepted. Um, there are certain video movies that are accepted. One uh, thing that Canvas, which is our learning management system that we will be working in through the course, does not accept is Google. Any Google Docs, Google Photos, things like that. It just will not let you submit those. It's ironic, and yes, it needs to be changed because we are supposed to be encouraging students to work in Google Docs for the group paper. So, anyhow, in this course, you have 4 major papers. I told you that, and that they will equal 20 pages. There's no 20-page paper. They're mostly 4 to 5 pages, and the group paper could be 6 to 8 or 8 to 10. I have to look and see if anything's changed in the last few hours, because it does right before we open our course, which will be Sunday night, 12:01, right after midnight Sunday, which will actually be Monday, um, January 10th. So, the one book that you do need for this course is a Composition Handbook, and I believe it's edition 7. Yeah, it's the 7th edition. And I even have published stuff in here on rhetoric, which will be a new word for you. Okay, you can get a hardback copy, but I sent out the syllabus today and a handout on how to access uh, the Composition Handbook. I believe it's $40 for lifetime. So what that means is students that need it in 1302 this semester that's purchased it when they're in 1301 still have access to the book. So it follows you, usually. I can't say there won't be another new edition. So, also, got my books on the floor. You should start reading The Long Walk by Stephen King. It's not a really huge book, but by February 20th, you will have to have been done reading this book by Stephen King. It's called The Long Walk. He was writing as Richard Bachman at the time. He was trying to sell books with a different name, just seeing by his own self if he could sell a book without his name on it. And yes, they all made bestseller lists. So uh, years later, he admitted he was Richard Bachman. So it's a dystopian novel. It's a page turner. It's not a difficult read. The thing is, you need to read it before February 20th so you can write about it from different perspectives. And I'll make a video about that also, how you should be reading this book. There's symbolism and things that mean other things, how to read like a reader and how to read like a writer. And I will have a free chapter in the course of Stephen King on writing, a memoir of the craft. He's been writing forever and has zillions of dollars, but I've read everything he's written. And some people don't consider him in high esteem in the literary fields. However, he's a crackerjack novelist in developing character. So you really get involved with the characters, you know something about them, and you really care. And he wrote this book. Oh, The Long Walk. I picked up the wrong book. And when he was a university freshman. So think about that. Some people may criticize some things in the book and all, but imagine if you were to write this year. That is what he did. And so you will need to get the Top Hat Handbook, and I'm going to send around an access to that link and more information. You need a long walk and Top Hat. And I was thinking of writing about groups with groups. You will have a group paper at the end of the course, so that if you don't get this book immediately, do not stress. Team Writing: A Guide to Working in Groups by Joanna Wolfe. And Wolfe is spelled Wolfe. It's in the syllabus. The syllabus is longer than heck for all the stuff that we are required to put in it. Resources, phone numbers to just about everything on campus. So those are the books you need. There will be a free book, an electronic book provided in your course called Reading About Writing. And that is the theme for this course. It is reading about writing, reading about what writers write and how do writers write, so you can get an insight into that. And that's why I will be including not only Stephen King's fiction novel, but I will include what he has talked about as himself as a writer for you, that you do not have to purchase any other materials for the course. The only things not free of charge are the Composition Handbook, which is $30 for a lifetime from Top Hat, www.tophat.com. And it's $40. And then there's the team writing book. And The Long Walk can be rented, used. I've seen it as low as $6 to read it, or on audio even. But you just need to get access to it. There's no certain price you have to pay. And I regret the bookstore. Some days my books show up in there and some days they don't. I don't know what's going on. I had an actual American literature book show up in there as necessary to purchase. It is not. So I cannot tell you in good faith at this moment to follow what shows is being offered for my course. Follow this video instead, and the syllabus where you get to required materials and books. So this has gone on long, and I will be making more videos and having live conferences this semester. It'll be so much better than what I did last semester because there were a lot of glitches and problems, and I have a full capacity computer now with audio and everything. So yeah, I will be visiting with you a lot. I can visit with you individually, look at my office hours, and make office hours by appointment, conferences, and I will be available. I've handed off some academic projects so that I can work more with my students, which is what I really like to do best, not projects that require a lot of writing and thinking. And sometimes it's like, I'd rather do it to help somebody else. So there you go. And this video's long, so I'm going to go ahead and say, see you at the next video.